This is a topic I never thought I'd have to talk about, because frankly, I didn't think this sort of thing would even happen. But you know what they say? They say, don't be surprised because it's the internet. But you still do get surprised because you never realise how oddly specific people are going to get. As you may know, if you are big into the VTubing space, there's a website going around that supposedly tracks... I really can't believe I'm saying this, but it supposedly tracks the period cycles of some VTubers. I know some of you might immediately think, Dark, you're a man, why do you care about this? And what can you say about this, as you don't know what it's like to experience period cycles or period pains as a man? Well, that's true, but I do have empathy, and because more than one of my VTuber friends were affected by this and became uncomfortable with it as a result, I wouldn't feel right with myself unless I spoke out about it. Also, I did get the help from 3 women for this video, so I do have my bases covered here. I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. To put it simply, I think this website is weird, and there is no way around it, to be completely honest. But my thoughts today are less on the fact of the website is actually doing this, and more so on what this could potentially lead to in the future. Now, we all know about parasocial stuff in the VTubing space, and how it can become a real problem, people becoming obsessed with VTubers and their personas, without realizing that there is genuinely a real person behind that model, and a person who most likely wants some privacy and to keep themselves to themselves sometimes. The whole thing just doesn't seem right to me. Like if you walked outside in the real world as a woman and a person came up to you and said, "Oh hey, I know when your period is," or "Oh hey, I know you're ovulating right now, I know when you're fertile," I think 9 times out of 10 you would really feel uncomfortable and put off by it. My question is, why the f would you even care about when a VTuber is on their period or not? Like, that's just creepy in my opinion and way too personal for strangers on the internet to desperately want to know. Now, I know that this information is supposedly, it's based on the fact that some VTubers apparently, give this information out or something. If they do, then they have no excuse of complaining about parasocial behavior at that point, because they're kind of asking for it if they're giving out this kind of information. Obviously, you know, I don't agree with parasocial stuff, but they shouldn't be surprised if it happens because of that. If you lean into the boundaries and you praise this sort of stuff, it's just gonna lead to some bad stuff. It's only a matter of time before they may try pushing the boundaries further. And honestly, that is my main problem with this whole thing. Sure, the data most of the time isn't actually accurate when it comes to this, and Vedal's on there, and if you guys might know, he's actually a man as well, like me. So the website could very well be satire, and if it is satire, I'm glad. But even if it is, there is an issue that I have with it. First, it could be tracking the cycles, and it could be more personal information that they're tracking while labeling it as a joke. This could lead to a lot of anxiety for the VTubers, the thoughts that a person would know such intimate details about themselves. And it sets a dangerous precedent, cause if by some bad luck this is verified, to be true sometimes, how are they doing that and how are they finding this information? And if the verification is real, then that means whoever is running this has access to medical records, which could be super bad. Not even to mention the ones whose faces are also publicly known. They could have that information used against them for all sorts of malicious reasons. Call me a tinfoil hat conspiracy nut if you want, it's my channel and I can discuss how I think. I just want to put this out there that this could lead to a very slippery slope. It is, the best way to put this in my opinion is, you give them an inch and they take a mile. It could very well lead absolutely nowhere, and this video would ultimately be pointless, which you won't hear me complain about if it is pointless. The thing that bugs me is the fact that VTubers were having this website track the information on them without their knowledge or their consent. Sure, the information a lot of the time is wildly inaccurate, but in my opinion it shouldn't have ever got to the point of the website even being made in the first place. A few of my VTubing friends were really freaked out and worried about this website, the main one being Mincy Moon, who graciously allowed me to use her tweets in this video, so here's a couple of them right here. Yeah, does that look like a joke? No, to me that looks like somebody who's genuinely disgusted about what she's seeing and just questioning why people would ever want to do this sort of thing in the first place. The thing is, as you guys know, VTubers typically value their privacy, or at the very least, some of their privacy, and they want to keep their identity hidden. So you can imagine this caused a lot of stress for some VTubers initially. Even if we now know that a lot of the information is bollocks, it just doesn't sit right with me, guys. It really doesn't. I don't want people to be proper stressed out for a laugh or just for the lols. I think it's really petty and just not nice. And I'm not the only one who shares a similar stance to this, as you may have seen by the title. I have someone else with me today who also dislikes this whole thing and its concept. Everybody say hello to Lychibee, and let's let her discuss why she doesn't like this. So take it away, Bee.
Hello, I'm Lychee, or some people call me Bee, and to shed light from a woman's perspective, it is completely disgusting and so wrong to be concerned about our autonomy and our organs down there. While some VTubers are more open about discussing it, it is very wrong to do it to other VTubers that do not encourage it, especially because women already are treated more as objects and as child bearers. To strip away who we are behind the model to just, oh, this VTuber is fertile today, or oh, this VTuber is on her period today. It's just wrong. It's really just wrong, and reduces us to just, oh, you're a woman and you're born with women parts. That's who you are. No, like, we are so much more than that, and these VTubers did not ask to be put on that website. It's crazy to do with consent too. I would never ever respect anybody that is concerned about my cyclical cycle than who I am as a person. You don't ever see this with any male parts. Like, you don't ever see this kind of treatment with guys where they're concerned, oh, like, about their bodies and their sort of autonomies. We should not be encouraging parasocialism, and we should not be encouraging the kind of relationship where fans are allowed to dehumanize their favorite streamer. We are still humans, and we are still women with our own control over our bodies, and to take that away from us is, you're not a real fan. You're just projecting, and you're just boiling us down to our most basic idea in your head. Please respect people. Please respect streamers. Just because we put ourselves out there, just because we have an anime model, doesn't excuse any dehumanization or any degradation like that. Treat others the way you want to be treated. That's all I have to say. Take it away, Dark.
So yeah, the TLDR for me on this whole situation is that I think this website could potentially lead to a very slippery slope amongst other things. It very well might not either. I'm just saying, be very wary of these things. People could really take obsessions and stuff to another level. If you give them the tools to do this, if you enable it, they could really take this to all sorts of bad places, and they really could put VTubers in harm or in danger, or cause a lot of anxiety for them. Also, if you are a VTuber and you feel uncomfortable by this website, you should be allowed to say that it does make you feel that way. If people make fun of you because you personally find this to be uncomfortable, then that says more about them, to be honest. If somebody's uncomfortable with something, you should respect it. End of. Anyway, that's all I really have about this website. I'm just praying that it's just a meme, it's just for a laugh, and there really is nothing malicious behind it. Of course, I don't really approve of it, but I'm just hoping that the best case scenario is just a meme and people will move on. Thank you, Lychibee, for coming on. She really is very nice. I wish my first VTuber collab after Marrow was for more positive pretenses, but you've got to do what you've got to do. So yeah, all I gotta say, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, my disciples. Also, I hope you like the new updated audio. I think I've finally cracked it so that it sounds good while not peaking as well. So take care, everybody.